All right. Screw the intro. We're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, Red Squirrel, Zenith, Fox Mulder, Crypto Khalil. Pleasure. Man, we got the usual suspects. Timothy Harris says, CC, what's going on? We got all the regulars. You guys are the diehards, man. You guys are going to be here, bull and bear, with a decent attitude, I hope, man, because we are wrecked. PulseChain is wrecked city right now, but hey, we're still building. We're still staying optimistic. You're either building, you're buying, or, you know, you're crying. Buying or crying, right? So we can choose how to spend our time however we want to. But I'm glad you guys are here with me. Glad you guys are here to hear the latest PulseChain news. We're going to talk about whatever the chat wants to talk about. We'll kind of just let the conversation flow normally. It is an AMA, so ask me anything you want, especially if you're new here. Don't be shy to ask a question. You might think it's a dumb question. Usually there's almost no dumb questions. So I'll try to answer them as best as I can. I know a lot of you guys are veterans, though. What's going on? Zenith, intro rugged. Yeah, lol. The intro is a little weird. And that's right, Zenith. Master has presented you with a wrench. Zenith, use it wisely. Use it wisely. With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, I've been trying. Oh, Soylent Green is in here. Soylent Green. Morton Hake. And Daniel Santos. What's going on, everybody? All right. We'll get people trickling in. Yeah, what's been up? What's new in the PulseChain community, everybody? We've got a new amicus brief signed. That's exciting. I could tell you in the background, we've got some big things planned for a fiat on and off ramp. And I'm not talking about gainpulsechain.com. I'm actually talking about a brand new fiat on and off ramp, which I think you guys are going to love. But I can't say too much about it until, you know, the deal is signed and the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. So get ready for that. We've still got MEXC listing pending funding. We're almost there. We're over halfway there. But yeah, what's going on, everybody? What is going on? All right, let's share my screen here. We've got meme coin season going on. Debatable meme coin season that PulseChain is kind of quietly having. I don't think the Solana bros and the base bros, I don't think a lot of them realize yet, but we've seen a lot of people coming over here specifically for memes like SolidX and PDI. I don't know, maybe even Dick with Butt, but I have noticed an uptick, I will say, on social media. I've noticed some other people, some new folks finally, that seem to be from outside of the ecosystem, wondering how to get into PulseChain. And we've got boots on the ground as well. We've got a bunch of PulseChain reps over in Dubai right now, token 2049. Pretty epic, guys, pretty epic. You've got the highest of stakes playing on the Arab Emirates airline. And they flew 43 million people last year. I don't know if it's going to be for every flight, but you've got basically Richard Hart's face sitting on the TV screen in every seat on the Emirates Airlines jets, especially being exposed to all these wealthy individuals, Roger Ver, Arthur Hayes, all these guys, all these rich crypto bros on their way to token 2049. And when they get there, yeah, you know what they'll probably be talking about. Now, of course, they're going to say, oh, how cringe, you know. The difference between cringe and visionary is just the price. That's all it is. So if you think the price is going to go up, well, congratulations. We're still here. We're still buying, still building our positions. And if you don't think the price is ever going to go up, I don't know what to tell you. You either believe or you don't. But when you look at the community behind this, when you look at what people are building, you know, people are leaning into the meme season as well. You got new stuff every day. I don't know what this one is. Somehow got it to the top today. Banana Republic. You got bananas, you got oranges, you got cream, and then you got the trusty. So Teddy Bear, SolidX, Dick with Butt. These have been out for a while. SolidX is a bit newer. Dick with Butt's a bit newer, but I think those have some staying power, you know, in terms of meme coins. But you know, I'm not an expert. By the way, guys, PulseX.com is where you go to buy your core coins. Okay, PulseX, PLS, HEX, INC token. But if you want to play with meme coins, 9inch has been blowing up lately. The 9inch BBC token has just boosted all the yield. Kind of like when INC pumped a couple months ago. Now you got the BBC pump. Stands for Big Bonus Coin, you dirty boys. What else would it stand for? Big Bonus Coin has been increasing all the yields, and I know Hexy Bastard is trying to make a push to get all the meme liquidity over there. And I think that's fine. You know, if you want to have a meme coin DEX with all the meme coin liquidity as a secondary place to go, you know, I think PulseX is always going to be the home for the core coins, HEX, PulseChain, PulseX, INC, stablecoin pairings, Ethereum pairings. But memes are not going anywhere, and you do need a DEX. And this 9-inch DEX, I got to give it to them, guys. I know it's a competitor with PulseX, I know. But if people are trading meme coins, they've got some features over there like limit orders, single-sided staking, dollar cost averaging, all the stuff that people complain about that PulseX doesn't have, right? So, go do with that what you will. Do with that information what you will. But they've been also friendly to even the PRC20 token pairs. They've got new farms out for PDAI and PLS, which I joined that farm, believe it or not, but then I pulled it. Basically, the yield dried up super quickly because some whale went in there and diluted everybody. So this is what always happens, right? You start off with a super high APY and yield farms is a perfect example. And I'm not saying, look, the APY in the Pulse PDAI pair is still very high, but it went from like 250% APY a couple days ago to now it's sitting at 50% APY because I think a couple of big players moved, $100,000, $200,000 at a time in there. And that's what happens with yield farms, guys, but still 50% is nothing to laugh at. So look, prices in the gutter today. How are we coping? How are we coping, guys? Some people are building, some people are spreading the message. It is the best time to buy the dips, guys, 99% off. But understandably so, people are tired of bag holding, right? So try not to get shaken out. This is the hard part. Waiting for Ethereum to pump. In my opinion, we're all waiting for ETH to pump. The Ethereum ETF, they just approved an ETF, an Ethereum ETF in Singapore, I believe, or maybe Hong Kong. And this is a big deal, guys. This is a bigger deal, in my opinion, than the Bitcoin halvening, which is in 3 days, by the way. A lot of people are talking about the halvening, which is going to cause a supply shock to the Bitcoin supply. I don't think it's actually as important as all these inflows that are going to be coming into Ethereum. And you look at, I can Google this for you guys. Ethereum ETF filings. There's like 5 or 10 Ethereum ETF filings in the USA. And there's a website that I forgot which one it was. Let's see. Ethereum ETF tracker at blockworks.co. You can go down here, right? Look at the screen right now. You've got all these pending ETFs. So you've got ARK Invest. That's Kathy Wood. You've got Van Eck. Get out of here, ad. You got Van Eck. You've got Grayscale. You've got BlackRock, who's got a 99.9% success rate. BlackRock has only ever had one ETF denied, I think. So, hey, do with that what you will. Hashdex, Investco, and Fidelity. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Ethereum ETFs currently awaiting SEC approval. The final deadline for a lot of these is end of May 23rd, 24th. But the BlackRock one, if you guys want to bank on that happening, that's happening on August 7th. So, look, these might get delayed. These already have been delayed, right? They've got deadlines and stuff. But if anyone's going to get approved, it's probably going to be BlackRock. And that's going to cause the Ethereum price to basically moon. Just look at what it did to Bitcoin, right? It got Bitcoin, which is an extremely highly liquid asset, very hard to move. But it doesn't matter, I guess, when you've got 1% of everyone's 401k flooding into Bitcoin, that kind of institutional money is the only thing left to move these older cryptos like Bitcoin, which is in its 4th cycle right now, 5th cycle almost. So Ethereum's in its 3rd cycle. It's highly liquid, but that also means it takes many millions of dollars to pump. And I'm thinking the ETF can actually do that. It can unlock those massive inflows that we need. Then you've got people aping into Ethereum, and then you've got obviously the normies that don't care about DeFi, but then you're going to have people seeking more opportunities, newer opportunities in decentralized finance that involves taking your keys, off of exchanges, taking your coins off of exchanges. And obviously, where my bets are at. All the stuff on PulseChain going on, all the building, all the yield that's able to be generated. Some people don't like yield. I don't really get it. I think if you build a big enough position, yield will start to be attractive to you. But in the meantime, a lot of people are degenning. They're just gambling on meme coins. That is fine too. Nothing wrong with that. But if you must, the only real key I would say to meme coin degen having fun, because I do it too, it's fun. It's just don't lose your primary core stack, right? I mean, people have always been saying 10%, use it for lottery tickets, whatever. It's just capital preservation and risk management. That's what they would have called it if we were like actual sophisticated investors, whatever that means. It's capital preservation. It's not getting overly cocky. It's not getting overconfident. It's dangerous because sometimes you win a couple $1,000 on a meme coin. Maybe it even happens twice in a row, and you get way too overconfident. You go way too hard and you over leverage in like the wrong coin at the wrong time, and you're right back to square one, or even worse, right? And then you've got this desperate make it back mentality. So, I'm only speaking from experience here that if you degen gamble on these short-term plays, which are always happening, guys, there's always something pumping on PulseChain. Just look at the top page on Deck Screener right here. And you've got some of these memes, by the way, that actually probably have more staying power. Here's Dick with Butt. Come on, guys. Just funny. Just a funny one. Stupid scam wick here, though. Hold on. How does the actual chart look? They got to get rid of that scam wick on the Dick with Butt chart. But look, relatively high liquidity for a meme coin, right? Had a little dip, a little dip-a-rooney, and actually recovering now. It's been out for a little over a month, it seems. Actually, it's 1 month anniversary, I think, today. March 24th, April. No, it's almost a month old. Anyway, guys, look for liquidity in these as well. If you're trying to get in, don't be one of those guys that doesn't know about slippage. If you're new to crypto and you're trying to, for example, if you're trying to buy $500 of a meme coin and the liquidity pool is only $5,000, you're not going to really make any serious money with that. Like, it's just not the best idea. You want your liquidity pools to be, over, I typically prefer about 100x my clip size. So if your clip size is $1,000, you'd be wanting to sell into a liquidity pool of $100,000 or more, just so you don't eat slippage. And if you don't know what slippage is, I could describe it to you, but a lot of people just have to learn the hard way, right? It's like, if your slice of the pie is too big relative to everyone else's slice of the pie, you get a worse deal on the way out. So some people think, oh, I've got $10,000 worth of a meme coin, and then they dump it and it's only like $6,000 because they were surprised about slippage. And a lot of PulseChain people already know about this, but for the newbies, watch out for that. Watch out for that. All right. Oh, PDI as well. We got to talk about PDI. Where is PDI? Richard Hart tweeting about PDI. Guys, any DAI holders from the Ethereum chain have a copied version of their PulseChain PRC20 version of DAI stablecoin. Now, some people think this coin is going to be worth $1. Some people think this coin is all a scam, all right? And then you've got everything in between. Now, I'm optimistic for PDI, but I don't want to be foolishly optimistic. And I've seen some narratives out there that straight up aren't true. I've seen a lot of facts on chain. Go follow 9 Iron Capital. Things that are true, things that are very interesting to look at. So just be careful of where you're getting the info and try validating all the info. But the PDI pegging conspiracy, I want to believe, guys. Because yes, I've got a bag. It's no secret. I've told people. Let's see. Also, make sure you're selecting the right DAI. So there's all kinds of like fake DAIs out here. DAI, WPLS. Just go in the Telegram if you're ever not sure. Follow these people on Twitter too. So it's the purple logo here. It's the purple logo, the one with 1.2 million liquidity. Just hit a new all-time high in a couple weeks ago. And it's kind of, who knows if this is a bull flag or redistribution, or what do you think? Do we have another September situation where we've got 3 or 4 more months of downward? Because this could happen too. Like what happened in mid-September could happen to PDI right now. Now the difference is you've got Richard tweeting about it, which some people assign a lot of importance to. You've got a lot of farms giving people a place to stake the DAI, so less sell pressure. There's less sell pressure on the table. It's hard to say. It's hard to say how many people are in profit here that are willing to take profit in PDI before it even hits a penny, right? I think 1 penny is going to be a psychological point to break through. But somehow we're at 60% of a penny, 63% of a penny. Could go either way, guys. I really have no clue. But yeah, check out the farm on 9inch. PDI paired with Pulse. It's a place you could stick your PDI in. If you're one of those people that wants to hold DAI and Pulse long term anyway, stick it in a farm at least, because if you don't care temporarily what happens day to day, here's the thing. Here's what's happening is like everyone's just trying to buy a million DAI and hoping that one day it goes to $1 and they're like a millionaire. I hope so too, guys. I'm bag holding with you. I'm just skeptical. Yeah, bull flag. Some people say bull flag, right? Some people say this is a bull flag, but also people people have said that about a lot of previous basically redistributions that ended up just going down for a long time. Like, you know, the thing about charting is you can kind of draw whatever lines and make whatever thing up that you want, whatever shape that you want. Because look at this one, guys. I remember ZKZX over here. I remember little old ZKZX. Everybody was saying, oh my God, bull flag, bull flag, bull flag. And, you know, they were drawing, and it does look like a bull flag. Imagine that you didn't see anything else besides these candles right here. It would have looked like a great bull flag, wouldn't it? And then it just shat the bed for a while. Who knows? ZKZX might actually have found a bottom here. ZKZX is a privacy protocol. It's a fork of Tornado Cash. So actually a useful coin. It's got like a buy and burn that pumps the coin, allegedly. That's the narrative of ZKZX. But, you know, be careful seeing what you want to see because you're desperate to see it, right? A lot of times I'm just admitting that I just straight up don't know. Could go up, could go down. My mentality is, look, if you've got a bag of PDI and you think it's going to $1, or you just want to play for the probability that it gets memed to $1. It might not even peg. It might just tap $1, which would still be great. PDI itself has actually onboarded a lot of people into the ecosystem. PDI itself has been such an epic pump. I think it went up 5,000x. So a coin that was supposed to be a worthless stable coin that a lot of people abandoned for the first couple of months went up 5,000x. So I think that's pumped harder. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but that's pumped harder than anything so far. It's brought new people in. But again, I'm not a trader, so I'm not trying to trade the current price of PDI, but I am a fan of the 9-inch farm. I'll just say it again. Good job, Hexy Bastard. Good job. I'm a little salty at Hexy Bastard, though. I'll tell you guys a story. So SolidX, here's my SolidX story. Heard about it early, heard about the fire whale getting in to pump SolidX. Basically, this meme coin, the whole narrative is like some rich whale is going to keep pumping it. And so, you know, took a random scratcher bet early on, sold it after like a 5x, and then it just kept pumping. And this giant Darth Vader candle right here, I'm like, I wonder if it's going to keep pumping. I don't know. I'm out by this point, right? I'm out by this point. And like, Hexy Bastard texts me, and he's like, yo, God Whale was just spotted buying SolidX. And I'm like, oh, God Whale, huh? And this is where you got to just be careful, right? Because it's like, maybe that was true. So then I aped in at the very top candle and I got fucking wrecked the next day. So I'm like, yeah, that was a dumb decision, right? That's why you could even have a true fact. Like maybe God Whale was seen buying it, but you still have to shake these people out that were holding from day one. So, you know, me and SolidX I have mixed feelings. Made some money, lost some money. It's one of those fun ones, though. Shout out to Randy. Shout out to Randy Hilarski. And whoever else launched that. I think Axis Alive is a big fan. RH wasn't tweeting about ZKZX. Yeah, he was. Believe it or not, RST. Richard once did tweet about ZKZX. Not directly, though. But ZKZX is interesting because it's included in this locked pulse. So you've got 5 billion pulse currently locked in ZKZX. Pretty significant, right? Like, this is a pretty significant usage for a very early, not even a year-old blockchain. You've got, so look at, like on the screen right here on gopulse.com, this is where all the money, all the PLS that is locked in different various protocols is situated right now. You've got 1.5 trillion in validators. That's like, I think 10% of the supply, 10% of circulating supply. If you count origin address, that's like 1%, but you know, circulating supply, about 10% is locked in validators. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Liquid loans is locked at almost $1 trillion, 850 billion. That's very significant. The bridge has 50 billion. I don't know if that's good or bad. You can call that a risk if you want. Fiat's locked 44 billion, ZKZX 5 billion, and Time Pays Me 5 billion. So this isn't really TVL in the same way that HEX TVL is actually vesting and has consequences for unstaking, because this pulse could be unlocked at any time relatively quickly, but it's much less likely to move when it's in these protocols because these are like yield farms and stable coins, and people are earning validator rewards. People are earning liquid loans reward token. So, you could reasonably assume that almost $200 million worth of PLS is locked up with a lower probability of being sold, a much lower probability. Soren says, I have faith in the technology behind PulseX is the best on market. Well, that's the thing, is like PulseChain is literally a fork of Ethereum 2.0. So it's not reinventing the wheel here. Look, any breakthrough that Ethereum makes, for example, there's a new EIP coming out that's going to allow people to do gasless transactions, essentially. It's going to be sponsored transactions. So you can have through a smart contract, you can have a situation where a user can interact with your protocol and doesn't even need gas. This is like a game-changing feature that's coming to Ethereum. And guess what? Because PulseChain is a fork of Ethereum, we inherit all those changes. We actually get to wait and see if these changes, assuming they don't fail and Ethereum doesn't burn to the ground, we take all the good stuff that Ethereum has as well. So it's really a blessing that we are an Ethereum 2.0 fork because it is the best of the best. It's just a cheaper, faster version of that with tons of copied protocols, tons of forked protocols, tons of meme coins, huge communities. You've got like all these people. You got NFTs, which I don't even really talk about, but NFTs are thriving. There's so many NFT platforms, so many collections, so many artists building. PulseChain's where it's at, in my opinion. It's just a matter of when will the market realize? When will the market realize? In my opinion, guys, all it's really going to take for PulseChain to get on the map again is a small injection of maybe $50 million, right? All that takes is a small spark to initiate FOMO buying. And if this happens, let's say during the middle of an Ethereum raging bull market for ETH, let's say the ETH ETF is out, let's say Ethereum's at $8,000, let's say a small fraction of everybody's brand new wealth sparks and ignites a FOMO buying spree on PulseChain. I think we could 100x in a matter of less than 6 months. It's very, very possible, especially when you look at the liquidity. The total PulseChain stablecoin liquidity on PulseX. Let me just show you guys so we can understand how relatively little money it actually takes to pump all these things. Is you go to the liquidity tab or go to the farms, right? 20 million of DAI. You've got 10 million, 7 million USDT, and let's say 7 million of USDC. So that's 14 plus 20. It's about $35 million worth of stablecoin liquidity, meaning if, let's say, $50 million comes in, the price would 4x, basically, over 4x. 50 million is not that much when you look at the inflows coming into Base and Solana, all that kind of stuff. You got billions of dollars flowing in there, and it's not even, in my opinion, the seasonality of everything, it hasn't even become like a true DeFi season yet. Yeah, there's meme seasons on Solana. There's meme seasons on Base, of course. But nobody really cares about the OG, like the DeFi stuff and actually using the chain. So it's gambling season. But wait until people start buying into, what they perceive to be better narratives. It's all going to cycle around. It's all going to cycle. Fiat and Crypto, hope all is well. Good to see you, Fiat and Crypto. Fiat and Crypto runs an alpha group that I suspect might actually be one of the good ones. Like, I don't know, they seem to be making money over there. So shout out to those guys. It does cost money to join their thing, so I don't know. Do with that information what you will. Crypto Khalil says, I was going to say Hexy Bastard claims you're a bigger degen than him. I was cracking up. I'm not a bigger degen than Hexy Bastard. Fucking asshole told me to buy the SolidX top. Thanks, dude. Thanks. Just kidding. I'm not mad. I really like what's happening at 9inch. I think it can be again, I think you have PulseX for the core coins. You can have 9inch for the meme coins. And if you're going to trade all your meme coins, go talk to Hexy Bastard. Get a liquidity pool incentivized over there. Maybe you can even distribute it via, they have a launch pad. Hold on. They have a launch pad. They have a DCA module. They have limit orders. They have, hold on, I can't talk and spell at the same time. 9inch, yeah. DCA, limit orders, liquidity staking, PRC20 farms. Look at this, PRC20 farms right now. And you can even airdrop your coin to a whole bunch of people without having any technical skills at all. Coin pools. Look, if you're a degen from Solana or from Base, like, you need to be utilizing PulseChain, because PulseChain might not have even had its true meme coin season yet. Okay, this is such a different kind of ecosystem than everything else. Mainly because it's not VC funded, right? There's no, like, all the marketing is organic. The whole community is actually organic based, self-funded and everything. So that's really, I think that's the blessing and the curse. Because when you've got permissionless innovation, everyone's doing their own thing, but you've got so many people doing it that, like, sometimes it's not as concentrated with the messaging. But it is what it is, and that's what we're living in right now. So coin pools out here, you can actually stake your BBC. I think they're even going to add BBC as a voting token for their future platform improvements. Yeah, they've got voting right here. So look, these are all the features that everyone's crying about on PulseX. Well, we don't have all these features, wah. But like, look, they're on 9inch. So if you're going to launch a little meme coin, look, you can actually stake your BBC and earn by single-sided staking, which again, that takes sell pressure off of BBC. Voting takes sell pressure off of BBC. Now look, I'm not selling out for 9inch, okay? They're not paying me to say this, but it's a meme coin alternative DEX. And I think it can be the home for a lot of degens. And I mean that as a term of endearment, right? Degens. We're all degens in a way. It's just, it's a spectrum. Degen is, we're on the spectrum here. Let's see. Manny, I'm at PulseX. Can you chew gum and walk? I can chew gum and walk. I'm a very talented person. I can chew gum and walk. My PulseChain / PulseX is on Internet Money. Yeah, guys, that's another awesome thing. If you're brand new to crypto, if you don't have an Internet Money wallet yet, internetmoney.io, guys. internetmoney.io. I want to show you guys this wallet. Now, I'm on a private browser, so I can't show you how the wallet works, but if you're going to do PulseChain, you either got to get Rabby or Internet Money. In my opinion, MetaMask is fine. Nothing wrong with MetaMask, but your user experience is going to be so much better. And when you get Internet Money, eventually they're going to have integrated the Coast on-ramp, fiat on-ramp and off-ramp. So you're going to be able to actually buy Pulse within the app. Probably, I would have to guess, like within a couple of months. I'd give it like maybe one more month for Coast to actually integrate their banking partner. And I'm just guessing here. Of course, it could be delayed. But once their new banking partner goes up, and they've got backup banking partners as well, they're going to basically enable deposits and withdrawals again. So it's a native stablecoin, and you can buy PLS directly to your wallet using wire transfer, bank accounts, Revolut, Wise, even stablecoins from Ethereum. They'll take all those different payment methods, and they'll just give you the coin you want. No bridging, no Ethereum gas fees. It's beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. But in the meantime, just get yourself familiar with this new app, this new wallet, because KG has also been very, very friendly to all the PulseChain communities as well. He's adding all the token logos. He's got actual accurate price data, which is probably the most important thing, right? Let's be honest. We just want to, all we care about is the US dollar value of our bags, right? USD is still the medium of exchange in the world for now. So everyone wants to know how much money do they actually have. MetaMask is not going to show you that. MetaMask can't even get the price right of PLS. Like, they do have a price for it, but it's not their correct price. It's like half the value of what PulseChain really is. So, you know, these wallets are PulseChain first, PulseChain friendly, and of course they also interact with Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, Arbitrum, any Avalanche, any EVM chain is compatible with Internet Money. Also Rabby. Just got to give a quick shout out to Rabby. I do like this one too. It's got some really cool security features. But if you want to support a local PulseChain hero and just, you can have more of a say, right? Like if you have a token, you should probably be also reaching out to Internet Money to get your token listed on that wallet too. Because it's proven itself over time to be pretty legit. A wallet's something that you want to really, really get right. And so far, they've been doing a good job. Don't sleep on Texan, says Mr. Rafferty. Here's the cool thing about Texan token. I don't own any Texan token. I really have no horse in that race. Let me just say, the Texas nationalist independence movement it's fun, it's cool. I don't live in Texas. I've never lived in Texas, so I obviously just don't really care. But, hey, Stoic, we're going to get to that in a minute. Hey, Stoic is here. Hold on. My final thoughts on Texan token is here's why it's actually good. Texan token is a perfect example of a political movement on the blockchain. So what Texan token actually represents is it proves the SEC versus Richard Hart case on defense of Richard. It actually proves that political expression is being infringed on by the SEC unfairly going after decentralized software programs in which totally innocent random civilian people have chosen to launch their endowment token for an entire political movement. So we don't have any other political movements as far as I know on the blockchain. I'm glad that Texan as a political movement is on there because it helps really build the argument in terms of defending PulseChain as freedom of expression. You've got art. Art is one thing. Recreational activities, that's one thing. You know, you've got the HEX racing team. Shout out to the HEX racing team. That's a good example of like an IRL thing, or like PulseChainTour.com. These are all people doing in real life recreational stuff. But Texan is in a different category. It's a political movement. So there's a pretty strong argument to be made that, hey, if you're messing with decentralized publishing software, you're actually stifling people's free speech in the form of a freaking political movement. So how's that for overstepping their boundaries? I don't think it's going to look too good for the SEC once all the facts around this case actually come out and all the lawyers get a say. Stoic, thank you for the $10. Reading a new banking provider contract, 6 to 8 weeks seems conservative. Yeah, you know me, Stoic. I like to not give too many hopes, especially after just being so wrecked in a bear market. But yeah, I have no idea how long your banking stuff is going to say. But hey, thanks for the $10, and you heard it from the horse's mouth right here. Stoic is the main guy. Stoic and Resolute are like the badasses behind GainPulseChain.com, and they're building a fiat on-ramp and off-ramp, basically the end game for adoption. And you heard it here, guys. 6 to 8 weeks is conservative. Could be less than a month. Could be less than a month. I'm trying to buy you more time, Stoic. Thanks for the tip. Let's see. Soylent Green says, I don't see any value on PLS coins in MetaMask. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. PLS coins are not showing the right USD values in MetaMask. So I'm a big fan of exploring alternative wallets. Plus, you never know, and I'm not trying to be paranoid here, but you never know if JP Morgan one day is going to shit the bed and just totally mess up MetaMask. There may actually be at one point, I hope it doesn't get here. I don't want to scare anybody, but there may be a massive FUD campaign. Might not even happen until the next cycle, right? But at some point, they're going to come after self-custody in crypto, I think. And people are going to be doing a lot of jurisdictional arbitrage, lifestyle arbitrage, such as myself, for example, just preparing in advance, right? And just, they really can't stop a human being from memorizing 12 seed words in their head, but they sure can scare a lot of uneducated people via propaganda. They can definitely make it, they can make the topic censorable. They can do the chilling effect. We haven't seen these draconian measures yet. All we've seen is like weak little Gary Gensler trying his best, but taking L after L. I hope that's the route we keep going on. I want to be optimistic. I want to say crypto is going to prevail, but there is like a more rough, difficult route to adoption where maybe people even higher up than the SEC get involved, and there's a disinformation campaign around all of crypto saying that we're all money launder terrorists or something. Obviously, that's not true. Obviously, we know the US dollar is used in over 99% of all illegal transactions on the black market. And crypto is open, public, and traceable, by the way. So, you know, you can actually have OFAC censored addresses. Crypto is kind of perfect for censoring the bad actors in the space, like on the OFAC list. That's fine. But we can be OFAC compliant, and we could still have privacy pools. We could still have decentralized peer-to-peer transactions. We could still have real crypto. I just don't want, I guess that's why we're all trying to educate people on how to do crypto the right way while they still have time to learn. Because you don't want to be a late adopter to this thing. You don't want to be a late adopter, and you don't want to say, oh, well, my bank's not shutting me off now. Why would I ever need cryptocurrency? And, you say that, but people are like frogs in boiling water, and they just say that and say that and say that until the one day government shuts them off because they said something they didn't like. Canadian truckers protested. Farmers in the Netherlands protested the agricultural regulations going in. Like, these people got their bank account shut off. And wouldn't it have been nice to be transacting in crypto and have yourself all set up with a seed phrase, with a cold wallet, multiple cold wallets, right? You need to just educate the people on the power that they actually have or can have by memorizing 12 simple words and not trusting a middleman who have never really had your best interest at heart. Even Coinbase, they might be one of the good guys for now, but if they get in bed with the wrong 3-letter agencies, guys, you never know. You never know. So take the power back, do crypto the right way. That's probably the most important message of all this stuff. New life, new wife, lol. Sure. Sure. Costa Pantazis says EHEX currently on the crypto market again. Currently the hedge on the crypto market again. Go figure. EHEX is so wrecked, guys. EHEX is so terribly wrecked. I wonder what the... yeah. I mean, look, EHEX is down in the dumps right now. You've got almost $1 million liquidity here tied to HEX and PLS. But let's go find the actual ratio. The ratio right now is sitting at 5 to 1, it seems. Seems it's just flatlined over the past month. I do have my eye on this ratio because I know it's controversial, but yes, I'm still bag holding my EHEX. I'm still bag holding my LP position. I do have EHEX tied to PHEX in a liquidity position. I thought it was all good at 0.5. I thought we were fine at 2 to 1. But market took a big shit based off a tweet and then a whole bunch of fear, panic selling. So did we find a floor here? I actually asked Twitter today. Let's go see what Twitter said about that. The people have spoken. Here's what people think is going to happen to the EHEX-HEX ratio over the next 6 months based on the hive mind of Twitter. Wow, it's very split across the board. Very split across the board. Damn. I wish we had a more clear winner. It seems like... Seems like, long story short, nobody has a freaking clue. Some people are saying more than 10 to 1. 21% of people are saying somewhere between 5 and 10 to 1. 27% of people are saying between 2 and 5 to 1. And 27% of people are saying 2 or less to 1. So there's a small optimistic majority, but not by much. You've got basically 54% thinking it's going to be higher than it is today. And 24, 34, 46% thinking that it's going to be lower or the same as it is today. So, I don't know. That's almost 50-50. It's a little more support on the optimistic side. A little more support there. But what else, guys? What else? In other news, yes, you might have already seen the tweet, but we filed an amicus brief with ICANN through the Foundation DAO, PulseChain Foundation DAO. Let's see. There is, Richard Hart supporting lawyers have recommended this strategy. Basically what this also does, guys, is it actually protects the confidentiality of all the signatures. So your private information is not going to be exposed. The important thing to know is that we have 44,000 signatures, right? That's incredible on its own. That's a huge win. But basically, this is the route to go because, luckily, we've been connecting with some lawyers that are in support of Richard, and they recommended this. It's also coming from ICANN, which is a better institution to come from. And basically what's happening is that, Robert Barnes is no longer submitting our brief, and it's instead lawyers at ICANN. And they're using the petition as an exhibit. So they're saying, hey, please refer to this petition as just an example of one of the many examples of overstepping. And so, because that's all public, the number 44,000 is public and available. So it's going to look good. It's going to look real good for us. Crypto Artie, thank you for the tip. 52-week shakeouts, Bitcoin halving, rate cut, ETH ETF, SEC dismissal, Trump victorious. Don't lose hope, Hexicans. Artie, you said it, man. You basically summed up all the optimistic viewpoints for me. This is the timeline that I want to live on. I want to live on Artie's timeline. 52-week shakeout happens in 2 more weeks, guys. 2 more weeks for 50-week shakeout. Now, maybe it's 52-week shakeout. Basically, we're exactly 11 months old. 11 months and 5 days. So, on May 13th, 2024, we'll be a year old. You can call that the shakeout period if you want to. We'll see. Could always keep dipping, but, a year is a long time to shake people out. Bitcoin happening. Fed cuts rates. Now, the Fed did backtrack on their rate cuts, which was kind of disappointing because the CPI numbers were higher than expected. Hopefully we have some rate cuts this year. It might not be 3 like he originally said. Jerome Powell was talking about 3 rate cuts for the year. It might actually just be 1 or 2. We gotta see how those fake inflation numbers are looking. We gotta see if how can they game the numbers to get those inflation down. Obviously, real inflation, groceries, gas, it's not getting any cheaper. But, they can do some magic with the statistics. What was it Mark Twain? There are lies, damn lies, and then there are statistics. So maybe they move some numbers. Maybe they carry the 9 and they, whatever. And maybe they can do some rate cuts this year. Crypto RDS, thank you for the tip. ETH ETF, I'm pretty confident about that happening just due to the fact that BlackRock is involved and looks like that might happen by August. Seriously, by August. People don't really see that coming yet. They're not. I think that's actually the most important part of all this. SEC dismissal, I do think that's on the table, although I'd give it a pretty small probability. A lot of times things don't get dismissed. What I could actually see happening is a partial dismissal. Like maybe a couple of the things get dismissed and then the actual case starts arguing over more specific things, just, less actual things. So I could see a partial dismissal and like a focusing on certain topics of contention. That actually sounds like a reasonable prediction. Trump victorious. Look, I don't really follow politics, but it seems like anybody besides the incumbent would be positive right now. So I can't say I'm a fan of Trump either, but and watch me even just like get banned for saying that. But no, I think anything but the current regime is going to be positive for crypto. And I'm a single issue voter, right? I want whoever is pro crypto. I don't want Elizabeth Warren in there. Anybody besides Warren and Gensler, who are really, really actually proven to be more incompetent. Like people think, there is an OG, like there is like an evil cabal, right? In the government, right? There's like, people always talk about conspiracies of the evil cabals. There are people that, want more power and control, but these people, I think they're not as competent as sometimes we give them credit for. Like, I think it's actually just a bunch of people that are scared about the new technology and they're just like cavemen and they just think that new thing is bad, like new thing bad. So I don't know, who knows? In 8 more years when we get, an actual younger president that actually understands what crypto is, I think the landscape could look a lot different. It would be nice if we had Vivek or RFK with even a chance of winning, but you know how the system is. I don't want to get into it. Don't lose hope, though. Don't lose hope. He's right. For PLS to 100 to just 100x, forget about 1000x's. It would need 250 billion. That's not true at all. Where are you getting 250 billion, dude? Are you one of those guys? This guy might be looking at the market cap and thinking that. See, that's one of the classic newbie mistakes. Is like you look at the market cap and you say, "Well, the market cap would need to go from 11 billion to 250 billion." That's not how it works, dude. Market cap is not as important as actual liquidity. What you need to focus on for the price to pump is not market cap. It's how much liquidity is there. How much is actually for sale? Because the market cap metric can be gamed. So you might be saying, oh, it's 11 billion. That means to do a 25x, we need, 250 billion is what we need. Not all the money from the market cap metric. Market cap is just circulating supply times price. It's not about how much are all the coins in existence worth, because 90% of those coins are dormant. They're not for sale. So what actually moves the price up or down is liquidity and then people buying and selling. So again, I'll go back to PulseX. Stablecoin liquidity is what moves the USD price up. Stablecoin liquidity. So you can learn that. You can learn what I'm saying right here. 7 million, 7 million, 20 million. That's about $35 million. And because this is symmetric liquidity and the price functions as a square, if you double that, so $35 million would 4x the price. $350 million might 100x or more the price, because then you imagine all the FOMO buying on top of that. So 250 billion. I just got to say LOL to that. LOL. Crypto already says most bullish with excitement on the PDI. Resume the pegging. Best meme narrative. It's such a powerful narrative because it's so easy for people to think, oh, well, DAI is a stable coin, and if it goes to $1, that's 143x away from here. So, if you actually think it's going to get to $1, that means basically there's 143x returns in PDI still on the table. I'll tell you where I'm at personally, and I'm just going to be honest, right? I do think it's possible to meme PDI to $1. Yes, I'm one of those guys where I'm like, I'm not fully convinced that it will peg to $1. And there's a couple of things. There's a couple of reasons which I'm open to learning more information, but I'll tell you right now, the Oracle module doesn't seem to be working. The Oracle module doesn't, it's got limited admin key access. Like most people, most DeFi protocols have a limited admin key, right? Not like admin key where they can steal all your money, but an admin key to turn on the Oracle and change the collateral and stuff like that. Change to update stuff. Number 2, I believe the Maker team and VCs still own the majority of Maker tokens, even though they got copied onto PMaker. Now, it is interesting because the sacrifice wallet was seen buying up a bunch of Maker and then apparently putting in a vote to pause Maker operations. And the MakerDAO team / VCs didn't seem to notice or care at all. And that makes sense to me. Like, why would the Maker team actually be following what's going on over here? Like, they've got so much else going on. They're probably not thinking about anything to do with the voting on the actual PRC20 copy of all their Maker tokens. So that those two things right there, I don't know, it could go either way. I haven't seen the ability for, quote unquote Richard's Maker coins to have enough power to change the system around to peg it, but maybe I just don't know enough about the protocol yet. Could be wrong, guys, could be wrong. The meme itself is very powerful just because, I'm mid-curving it right now, but for people that are just like, bottom and, the meme, guys. If you're on the lower end or upper end of the bell curve there, you're just like, P-die good because price go up. Green candles equal good marketing. So I understand that point too. You can't get mad at green candles because they are good marketing. And congrats to all the P-die holders. Should have bought more a couple months ago, I guess, but I'm happy with my bag. And if it somehow does get to $1, I will be absolutely thrilled. Hope ain't a strategy though, lol. Yeah, Sergio. See, that's the thing. Hope is not a strategy. That's what I'm saying is that, like, I'm hopeful, but I'm not like a diehard. I can't call myself going all in on P-die maxi, being a P-die maxi, just because I don't personally see all these dots. And there's people that are connecting real dots. Again, shout out to 9 Iron Capital. But there's also people making up dots that aren't there. Like the whole like NASA rocket scientists trying to say that the Atropa dev is friends with Richard. I don't even think they might not even know each other. Look, here's another thing that might be a bit triggering for people. And I do, look, props to all the Atropa people. I think that whole ecosystem is net positive for the whole space. If you guys are deep in that rabbit hole, look into it. If not, whatever, don't worry about it. But, I was watching all 4 videos of the Atropa dev. They didn't seem to know what Maker was. And they said some other things that were like, they didn't even think Pulse was designed to pump in price because it was the gas token and gas would be too high. So I disagreed with him on that. They didn't know what Calm was. They thought Calm was like Pepe. No, that has nothing to do. Like, not knowing what Calm is okay. It's understandable. I kind of was surprised that they had never heard of that token. It just seems like the entire premise of the Atropa coins is based on P-die pegging, according to the developer on the videos, right? Basically, his entire premise is, well, if DAI pegs, then Atropa goes way up and all these connected coins go way up because they're liquidity bonded and the liquidity is burnt and yada, yada. And then, yeah, that's awesome. That would be great if it pegs. But again, as far as I know or could tell on those videos, this was all based off the assumption that P-die pegs, and I didn't really hear anything about the method by which P-die pegs. So, I don't know, just beware. I'm just hyper aware of my own desperation to believe it because it'd be such an easy 143x, but I can't rush and ape into it and mislead people if I myself don't understand all the facts. Soylent Green says P-die to 2 USD would be hilarious. Yeah, it would be so funny if it went higher than $1. Anthony Roberts says coffee is right. Market cap is silly. True value is a small fraction of it. Same as Bitcoin. Liquidity is what matters. Yeah, you want to look at exactly, Anthony. I don't know where that guy got 250 billion from. That's just not true at all. NFT Cluck says, Yo, CC, glad you do these to help us in the community. Much appreciated. No problem. No problem. Hugh says, who's not a communist? Me, sir. I'm not a communist. I ain't no commie scum. Fox Mulder says, Truncheon, Soylent, well done. Okay, guys. Any other questions in the chat here? Bart says, do you think new funds will enter on the PulseChain network? Of course I do. Why else would I have my bags so heavily packed? I think it's only a matter of time. I'll show you guys something on the screen right here. Let's go to DeFi Llama. DeFiLlama.com. Remember how I said $400 million could 100x the price if we just had $400 million inflow? Well, let's see what just happened on the Base blockchain. Base is a layer 2. Okay, Base just had kind of a big inflow. We could filter on DeFi Llama here to see only the stable coins inflowing. Because stable coins, stablecoins are buy pressure. Basically, the stablecoins coming into the base chain will give you an idea of what's possible for the entire PulseChain ecosystem. Just waiting for it to load here, guys. Waiting for it to load. But you can see, look, the TVL on base is 1.5 billion. TVL on PulseChain is 400 million. So they've got about 3 or 4x the TVL that we do. But that all happened, you know, when March came around. Up until March, before March, base TVL and PulseChain TVL was like the same. Look, in February, base TVL was 380 million, very similar to PulseChain TVL. The stablecoins market cap was 313 million. But look, from March 9th, base went from 242 million USD stablecoins on chain. And let's go 1 month later. April 9th, fast forward, 1.498, let's call it 1.5 billion. Oh, sorry, the stablecoin market cap overtook the TVL. Stablecoin market cap is now 1.8 billion. So in 1 month, the stablecoin market cap on base blockchain went from 250 million to 1.8 billion. That's a difference of, that's over $1 billion of stablecoins coming into just for base season in 1 month. So you got to understand how easy that is once PulseChain becomes the trendy thing. And once it becomes easier to buy on PulseChain. Now, what are people doing to make it easier to buy? You've got gainpulsechain.com, you've got internetmoney.io, but you've also got people like myself that are still working on exchange listings. Not that that really matters too much. It does, but it's only a small thing. I'm really, really excited to be moving on this other initiative. This is happening behind the scenes with basically a fiat on and off ramp that's going to buy directly from on-chain DEX liquidity. Now, that's a promise, so don't get too excited on promises here. Anything could happen. I hope to be able to deliver this promise, but that's all I can say about it right now. I think that would be one of those apps that could integrate into any different website and allow people to buy from anywhere. So just a little hopium for you guys, a little hopium. There are people doing work that aren't Richard that are actually going to help the ecosystem. Timothy Harris says, "Where's your guitar?" It is to my right here. I had to get a new one. So this one's like a cheap Amazon guitar. It's green. PTGC. I guess we could talk about PTGC just because I know that guy. I will say he's very bullish on his own ecosystem. PTGC guy. And let's look at the so the cool thing about PTGC is as a meme coin, it's actually going up in PulseChain terms, which is what you want to see. Like most coins, like yeah, they might go up in USD value, but when you compare them in PulseChain price, they're not actually outperforming PulseChain. PTGC, you could call it a meme coin, but it's got this ecosystem of 4 or 5 other coins that all feed back into it. I currently don't hold any. I currently don't. I think I did for like a couple days or something. I don't know, guys. I don't really, 24 hours in a day, I can't be degening constantly, but look into it if you want to, because they got a whole thing going on over there, whole alien ecosystem. Hexy McHexican, I love the name. Can you explain COM? I find their front end a bit confusing. Yeah, COM token, you can go to getcomcoin.com. It's Communis, and I've got my ref link is getcomcoin.com. It doesn't really take anything from you. It just gives me 1% more tokens. Hex stakers, long-term Hex stakers only, can mint COM when they start their stake and when they end their stake. So you can mint 25% of the total COM for that stake at the beginning. And at the very end, if you see the stake all the way through, and if you don't emergency end stake and jeet your bag, you get the remaining 75% of your COM. And you can stake your COM optionally to earn 5% APY. It's a stable, flat 5% APY no matter what. Or you could take it and have it liquid, and you could just dump it. Some people are talking about COM as if it's like a coupon for people to incentivize staking. And by the way, it's only for long-term stakers. Your stake has to be over 180 days to be eligible for COM. So at least minimum of 6 months. And the idea was to incentivize HEX staking by offering, an instant liquid coin back as a reward, which you can then go do whatever you want with. Some people are very bullish on this. Again, here's the thing. When you're trying to expose the entire PulseChain ecosystem to new people, I don't have time to really niche down and make like every single project my new baby. But I try to pay attention as much as I can to everything going on. And this is one of those things that I do think has potential. It's just a matter of if people give a shit or not. And what makes them care? What makes them actually give a shit about this? It's the price going up. So when number goes up, COM and Hedron and Icosa, you can almost look at them like maybe leverage tokens on HEX, because when HEX goes up, these are going to go up too. Their liquidity is bonded to HEX, and also the only way to mint them is by actually staking HEX. Hedron and COM I'm talking about. So these are additional incentives to help the HEX ecosystem. Do I think PulseX can do 100x? Absolutely, I do. I think it will. I'd take that gamble that PulseChain's going to do 100x. I mean, I guess I'm taking that gamble with my bags, right? Like 90% of my total bags are in the PulseChain, PulseX, HEX ecosystem. So bullish on PulseChain and Base, more so on PulseChain. Good to know, Fion. Fion's one of those guys that's over on other blockchains as well. I think he's on Solana a little bit too. It's always good to get like a kind of a finger on the pulse from other communities. From what I've seen, other communities are really, really different. Like, they're way more flaky on other blockchains. PulseChain's got diehard supporters like you've never seen in all of crypto. Maybe early Bitcoin guys. I don't know. But it's different. It's different on PulseChain because they make these meme coins. They'll do a Twitter Spaces about them, or they'll have a group that's active on Telegram, answering questions, onboarding new people. You've got this whole ethos of, and I think it was actually born from Richard saying, I don't work for you. You should have no expectations. It actually led a lot of people to kind of be like their own version of entrepreneurs within the space in various different ways, where you go into other communities, right? Like a Solana meme coin, for example, you just have a bunch of Jeets in the chat. And not all of them, right? But like 90% of them are just like, can the devs please do something? When is somebody else going to pump my bag? And, nobody takes accountability or responsibility for onboarding people. Now, I'm not making that blanket statement on every other chain, every other coin, but you're going to find a lot more of that on coins outside of the PulseChain ecosystem. PTGC chart looks nice. Yes, it does. It's been in an uptrend via versus Pulse since basically the beginning. Does COM have a secondary use case like Hedron and Icosa and the HSI? The use case that people are pitching, Zenith, is that COM is like a coupon for staking HEX. But if it is a coupon for staking HEX, the problem that I have is that that also involves them dumping the COM, theoretically, and not expecting them to value the COM going up. But there is a price floor established via liquidity because COM is so actually hard to mint. A lot of the bigger holders that could have minted the most COM have actually dumped it already. So the one advantage I think COM has over Hedron is the mintability of it, the scarcity of it. Hedron still has a lot of OG HEX stakers that have a 10x multiplier on it that'll continue to maybe put sell pressure. And look, we've seen Hedron do okay lately. Like when HEX pumped, Hedron pumped even more. But in the in terms of sell pressure on the table, you can actually look at the charts and see that there's a lot less potential sell pressure in COM just because it's really, really hard to mint because T-shares are getting more scarce. And the only way you can mint COM is based on the T-shares that you have. Whereas, Hedron, I don't exactly remember how that was born, but I think it has to do, Hedron is your B shares times number of days in the stake. The only thing with Hedron, like I said, is that there's 10x multipliers on the early guys. A lot of those guys have already unstaked, probably. A lot of those guys have already exited. But, for example, I've still got some 10x multiplier stakes. I've got some 15-year stakes that have 10x Hedron multipliers still. So, every couple of months I can scrape that Hedron off. And it's just, I stick it in a liquidity pool personally. But, other people might dump it. I remember, I guess I won't name names, but I remember some people very publicly talking about dumping all their Hedron. And it is what it is. You can't stop them from doing what they want with their money. So there's always two sides to the story, guys. Fiat Crypto says PLS is doing a minimum 1,000x from bottom. You heard it here from Fiat Crypto, everybody. I like the bullishness. I appreciate it. Parentheses, I'm overexposed. Parentheses, I'm retarded. Yes, me too. I'm just retarded enough that this just might work. Now, I think 1,000x from the lows is actually on the table. because everyone's going to count from the lows, not from the sacrifice price. And okay, sure, you can get into all kinds of arguments about where are we starting the clock from. I think in the future, in hindsight, when you measure from the very bottom of PulseChain, which is 0.00003, I believe, all it would take is for Pulse to get to 3 pennies. And then technically we've done 1,000x. Now, 1,000x from bottom to top is only because we need a consistent way to measure via all tokens, right? You can't just cherry pick prices from random dates to serve your narrative. So if you just take the bottom price and the all-time high price, historically, that's kind of like the level playing field to judge a coin's performance is from bottom to top. So how much of that 1,000x are you actually going to capture? Just realize that when we talk about 1,000x or when we say HEX did a 10,000x, how many of those X's did people actually capture? It was really more like maybe a couple thousand X. Just like if PulseChain goes up 1,000x, realistically, if you're building your bags now, you'll be lucky to maybe get like 500 of those X's or maybe 600 or 700. It really just depends how much you're deploying at the very bottom. But, don't just think because we say 1,000x means you're going to get an exactly 1,000x. People are like, oh, so if I put in 1,000 and I do 1,000x, I get $1 million. Not really. Okay, not really, because you're not going to time the exact bottom and you're not going to pull out at the exact top. Nobody will. I'm not going to. I know for a fact I'm not going to sell the exact top. Very few people will. Somebody will. Technically, one person will sell the top, and that'll be the top. Fiat Crypto says, yeah, I've been on every chain, and Pulse hands down has the best community. Nice, man. I tend to agree with you. I haven't gone really balls deep in all these other ones, but from what I've seen, PulseChain's what you want. You've got people with the actual OG vision of crypto, of what crypto was supposed to be. The no middlemen, the taking the power back, earning yield, funny memes, cool NFTs. Like, you've got all the markings of a decentralized community, a parallel financial ecosystem, but you just got it in like a copied form. This is like the new iteration of Ethereum. Because, Ethereum might start to sell out. We might start to see centralization on the Ethereum front. We might. Speaking of centralized scumbag middlemen, SEC is attacking Uniswap. How ironic is that? Uniswap, who delisted HEX, are now getting a taste of their own medicine. So, look, unfortunately, we have to be on Team Crypto here. But the irony is that you're not safe from the SEC. You're just next in line on the chopping block when your project gets too popular. That's how it is. The SEC, when they're suing Coinbase, they named Filecoin, Solana, all kinds of Toncoin, I believe. All these popular coins have been listed as securities by the SEC in the Coinbase versus SEC case. So what happens when the SEC decides to go after one of these projects in particular? They're just next in line. So we need to do what we can now to stop the SEC at the front gates so that they don't make bad precedent and screw over everybody in crypto. Because PulseChain's a fork of Ethereum, guys. If PulseChain's a security, kind of seems like Ethereum's a security. Ethereum that literally did an ICO that everyone just somehow turning a blind eye to. Now, I guess the positive, optimistic way that this is all going to play out, in my opinion, is that everyone's greed will cause incentives to align for the most optimal outcome. What do I mean by that? Well, why isn't Ethereum being sued right now? Sure, they're being investigated, launch the Ethereum FUD. I believe that they're not, that the powers that be are turning a blind eye to Ethereum because it's already become so big and made so many people so rich, including institutions that have been FUDding Ethereum but buying it the whole time. Cough, cough, BlackRock. You've got funds like Galaxy, you've got Mike Novogratz, you've got so many hedge funds that would suffer if Ethereum was attacked by the powers that be. You got people representing Ethereum in lobby groups in Congress and stuff like that. So because it almost, and I don't want to say too big to fail, but too many people have a stake in the game. Too many people have skin in the game that to try to shut down Ethereum, like the number 2 cryptocurrency, would hurt too many people, right? So they thought PulseChain was just some tiny little scam, but they're about to find out that they kind of barked up the wrong tree, that were a lot bigger and more serious than they probably thought when they saw Richard in a Gucci tracksuit twerking. Will INC have? Some people say yes, some people say no. Bart Wingia. My information comes from Katie's reports. Shout out to KDP Crypto. INC has not... let me put it this way. INC has basically the ability to start decreasing emissions. And this switch, if it was turned on, would cause INC to slowly... It would cause emissions in INC to be reduced such that the supply increase would halve effectively every year. But this switch hasn't been turned on yet. So if this switch ever does get turned on, then more scarcity is able to be programmed into INC. But as of right now, no, it's just inflating from zero. You can call it a fair launch if you like that narrative. Some people say they like that narrative because the only way for someone to have minted INC token is to have put up liquidity and expressed belief in the system by taking impermanent loss risk in order to get INC token. There were no pre-allocations. There were no sacrifices, right? No sacrifice points. So INC technically is the only... That's why people sometimes even call it a meme coin, because you've got the only people that have it are essentially the people that believe the most in the ecosystem because they actually put up liquidity at risk to earn it. And then, of course, all the other people that just want to buy and ape in just because they saw the price go up too. But it's interesting. INC is... turned out it was a sleeper cell. You know, some people say it's a perma-dump token. Some people say, well, you can always slap on, for example, voting. What if they turn voting on for INC one day? Can you imagine how high the price would pump? Like, there is something in the code that I saw a long time ago where it was commented out, but basically voting could be enabled when PulseChain reaches a certain level of maturity. And voting could be given to the INC holders who might actually have more weight in the whole thing, because to be an INC holder, you have to have some understanding of liquidity in PulseX and PulseChain in general. All right. Bitfinesse. Good to see you, Bitfinesse. How's it going, man? Ether has been more like a fart lately with stinky fees and Vitalik embracing the expensive nature. Yeah, it's definitely been stinking. Those fees have been real stinky. Bitfinesse, I missed your last comment. He said, if you don't stake the COM, you can't mint more later. Isn't that right? If you don't stake the COM right away, yeah, I don't think you can go back and stake it. It's like a one-time thing. Either you stake it right away or you stake some portion of it right away, 25, 50, 75% of it. But when it's unstaked, I don't think you can restake it. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. The stage is open for whoever can explain it clearly. I hope I explained it clearly. Let me go down on this one. Stake. Shit. It turns out stake is a popular word here. Okay. Restake bonus. I don't know. It's all the questions are probably on the website somewhere, but too much reading right now. Dan Smith, evening, Mr. Coffee, sir. Can we get a shill for the lowest of stakes? Shout out to the lowest of stakes. Website went live. The lowest of stakes.com. The lowest of stakes.com. How good is this? Look at that disgusting bastard. The new king of plebs or clueless Muppet. A documentary on Hexy Bastard and the poor pleb token. They did actually a great job with the website. How close does this look to the highest of stakes? Like, it's uncanny. Look at this, guys. Hilarious. Just, of course, taking the piss out of the PulseChain community. You got to have a little fun. What else are we going to do? We're all wrecked. Who's this guy? Who is this guy and why is he hanging out with Hexy Bastard? The pineapple. Lol. Did I say pineapple? I meant eggplant. Eggplant dude over there. So you've got the highest of stakes documentary coming out, sponsored by Poor Pleb and 9inch. Look at this shit, guys. It's hilarious. Production and filming, premiere redistribution. I think those are chocolate tokens. I think those are HEX chocolates. These guys go to the pub, thrash out a story, have a few drinks, call it a day. This is so good. The production timeline. Principal production. Invasive coverage of Hexy's private life. Try not to screw up the footage. Lose footage. Try again. Starts to rain. Go to pub. It's too good, guys. It's too good. I find it funny. It's probably only more funny for the people that have been here for a while. Making the most out of it. Whitney Magic. Hello. Good to see you, Whitney Magic. Everybody go like and subscribe to Whitney Magic. Really actually making a big impact, especially with the female financial independence community. Teaching them self-sovereignty through crypto, financial freedom through PulseChain and HEX. Me and Whitney have very similar goals. All right, let's see. Dan Smith says, thanks, man. Crypto Steve says, welcome to the UK. Yeah, this is the UK. They can't take anything seriously, can they? Hilarious, though, guys. Hilarious. Sign up for movie updates. It's just crazy how close they got to actually the website. Let me just do a comparison. Let me show you the actual... This is the movie that was on all the Dubai planes. You know, Arab Emirates. Like, look at how similar it is. Very, very close. So funny, man. So funny. It's like spot on. Copyright 2024 by the Lowest of Stakes movie. I wonder if that's even a real company. Probably not. Too good, guys. Too good. All right. Well, what else do you want to talk about? Look at that, guys. Look on the screen right here. Emirates Airlines shills the Richard Hart HEX movie. They flew more than 43 million passengers in 2023, and they exposed it to everybody going to Dubai Token 2049 conference. Big heavy hitters at 2049. Token 2049. Let me just tell you guys who probably saw the movie. Here's who got to see the movie. Maybe Vitalik. Oh, wait, these are past speakers. Let's go to Dubai. Roger Ver, Arthur Hayes, the CEO of Telegram. Balaji, the investor, the famous investor. Who else is going? Speakers. Shout out to anybody at Dubai 2024, guys. Gavin Wood, founder of Polkadot, one of the Polygon founders, Chainlink. It really is important for PulseChain and PulseX people to be representing out here, and HEX people. So shout out to everybody here. You know, they can go meet. Imagine they get in a convo with like Raoul Paul, because a lot of people think PulseChain's a joke, right? They don't realize that we're actually a serious community here to stay, that we're building real awesome shit. And like when you have boots on the ground and people, it's not infiltrating, right? It's just doing what the rest of crypto does. Going to these conferences, shaking some hands, kissing some babies, right? You meet the right people and you never know what's going to happen. Who knows? Partnerships, podcasts, like investments, new projects can raise money and stuff. But really just putting the name on the map for PulseChain, putting that legitimacy out there and saying, hey, we're real people. We got our PulseChain shirts on and we don't care. You know, we'll talk to whoever. We'll talk to whoever's willing to listen. And so I think a lot of people, it's always funny. Like every time I go to a crypto event over here, like in Puerto Rico, it's always like when I say that I'm in PulseChain, and when people see my PulseChain shirt, there's always a reaction. There's always a reaction. Like there's always like, you know how that in that first like 300 milliseconds of telling somebody something, you know how you could see their true feelings about it, and then they cover it up again. So I've had a lot of like gulps and like side eyes, and it's so funny, man, because you know everybody's heard about it. Everybody and their mother has heard about PulseChain. Some people are just afraid to even admit that they like or that they've heard about it. So why does it have such a strong emotional pull on people? Richard Hart's part of it, but they could be scared to realize exactly how big this revolution is going to be. And of course, it's fun. We're the punching bag right now, okay? We're down 99%. Of course, we can be the punching bag, but when we do have the last laugh, the I told you so's are going to be glorious. Glorious. The only thing they take serious is ball clubs and hometowns. Lol. Check out Pegging for Dummies. Yeah, I watched Pegging for Dummies, but that was... Look, it was a nice video, but that Pegging for Dummies, there wasn't like chain analysis on it. It was a lot of storytelling as well. I appreciate the storytelling, guys. I appreciate everybody out there that's talking about PulseChain. It's just, I like facts. I like facts I can provably verify myself. I don't like people, personally, I don't buy into the leaps of faith and the jumping to conclusions. But look, no hate. No hate, right, guys? A pump is a pump. It's good for PulseChain. PDI is good for PulseChain. Infiltrating or networking or promoting, pretty much all the same. Yeah, infiltrating, right? Franklin, me too. I got the same reaction. Yeah, Franklin knows what's up. He's here with me on the island. Let's see. Oh, shit. We're at an hour, 15 minutes. Hey, we got 264 viewers. Any final questions? Any final questions? Smash the like, subscribe, share the video, leave a comment. Helps all this stuff go viral. What's my take on adoption at the moment? Would you say we're lacking adoption? Feels like RH is the only reason we'll pump. Bit scary. Curious on your take. No, man, I think adoption is happening if you're looking for it. Right? I know people all the time that are adopting new people during the bottom of the bear. The hardest time to adopt, by the way. And by the way, when we're at 2 or 3x the price from now, all it takes is the tiniest little green candle, and people are going to come flooding in. The narrative changes almost overnight. You'll be surprised at how quickly people are like, oh, PulseChain, how do I get into PulseChain? They only want to buy it when the price goes up. It's all it really takes, guys, is like a double or a triple in price. And then the FOMO buying is on. And when I look around and when I see the people building, when I see the people actually getting new fiat on and off ramps built, new DeFi protocols, new meme coins, new NFTs, they're building everywhere you look. So, I mean, I can see if you're more of a, like not as involved in the community. If you're looking at it from the outside, it might not seem obvious at first that there's so much of people's attention and energy going into this chain, into this community. But when you look under the hood and if you, I hate to say this, right? But it's like, if you knew what I knew, I think a lot of people would be a lot more bullish. But all I really know is just how many people are working hard to make this a success. This is really the people's blockchain, right? Grassroots revolution. It's all organic, not VC funded. That's why it's taken so damn long to get money for a decentralized exchange listing. By the way, guys, any founders of projects, multi-million-dollar founders out there, consider donating to the PulseChain Foundation DAO for the MEXC listing, because we would really like to get that exposure. Not that anybody should be using centralized exchanges. I'll say it one more time. It's not a black and white issue, okay? But there are 3 million weekly active visitors there. And they do usually have intention to buy crypto if they're on a crypto exchange. And they're based in, they're based in Cayman Islands, but they're bigger in Asian markets. So it wouldn't be bad to have some exposure to the Asian markets as well. Currently, we're at 70K out of 120K. That's the goal we need to reach for the MEXC PulseChain integration. Contract is already signed. We just need the funding now. And, you know, thank you so much to everyone that's already donated. But I'm specifically asking bigger whales, not smaller guys, right? If you're a founder or if you're a bigger whale and you're watching, we're only 50K away from an exchange listing, which again, I'll say it one more time. You shouldn't use centralized exchanges, but they have residual benefits in terms of perceived legitimacy, getting your foot in the door for listings on other websites, and just getting exposure to different markets. I mean, of course, the moment we do get listed, I'll probably make a video on how to withdraw your Pulse from MEXC, take it out back into your personal wallet. But that's where we're at with that. Thank you, everybody, so far that's been supporting that effort. But hey, it's still going. It's funny, for all the people crying that we don't have enough centralized exchange listings, well, we have an initiative to get one. I guess nobody wants to pay the money that it actually takes, huh? It's funny. It's funny. But no, exchange listings are not like a game changer. Like, I don't think that we need them. I just think that we want them. I just think that we want them. All right, 52-week shakeout almost over. Coffee, that's right, Tap. 52-week shakeout. We're about 4 weeks away, 3.5 weeks away. May 13th, 2024. That's going to be 1 year, right? 1 year anniversary of PulseChain. POS looks like a security. There's no expectation with proof of work. I don't think the consensus mechanism is what looks like a security, because look at Ethereum. There's 1 million nodes. They're all over the world. PulseChain's got 50,000 nodes from like 800, 900 unique people all over the world. Clearly not only in the USA. It's clearly sufficiently decentralized, like the Hinman standard, right? So yeah, I don't think security or not is a matter of proof of stake versus proof of work. I think it's a matter of the Howey test and how the thing was launched. Was there money put into a common pool with the expectation of profit solely derived from the managerial effort of others? A lot of these legs, there's 4 different legs. Investment of money, common pool, expectation of profit from work of others. And it's all about failing that right now. That's all the clarity we have is like a 100-year-old law from, it used to actually govern orange grove contracts. So how ironic is that we're still using a 100-year-old law for orange groves to try to copy and paste onto a brand new asset class where really I think you just need to write some new regulations already. But crypto is I already donated just a small shrimp. Hey, thank you for the donation. Yeah, I really do appreciate all the small guys out there donating, chucking in $100 or whatever. If you're a smaller person out there, I'd rather people invest their money into buying more coins, obviously, because it's going to work out so much better for you, but I do appreciate every little bit does matter. Specifically, if you are a whale, one more time, or if you are a multi-million-dollar project founder, consider just chucking in a tiny little 10 grand or 20 grand, and we could get there overnight with the right funding. So just saying. Crypto Steve, 15K, Coinbase. What does that mean? Hello, y'all. Just wanted to say hodl. Thank you, Yavin. Yafui. Altcoin summer, maybe, bro. ETH about to go crazy. I do agree. And when ETH goes crazy, then all the ecosystems can pump really. Like Solana only really did a 10x so far. It's all the meme coins on Solana with low liquidity. They're pumping like crazy left and right, but we haven't really seen like a true altcoin season where like Phantom and Polkadot and Cosmos and like all these other random tokens are truly, truly pumping. I don't believe we've experienced euphoria yet. Just a microcosm of euphoria in little tiny pools. Even PulseChain's had some euphoric moments, right? SolidX guys, PDI guys, they've had some euphoria if they bought really, really early. I saw guys pulling out hundreds of thousands of dollars out of certain meme coins. SolidX, some guy made $800,000 on it. Forgot what other meme coin. Someone just made like $350K on, what was it, Dick with Butt maybe? I think some guy made $300,000 on Dick with Butt. Crazy. Zenith, the good old Howey test. All right, guys. Thank you again. Like, subscribe, share the video, leave a comment. And we're all going to make it. It's going to be all right. I hope you guys like the short form content as well. I've finally hired a team to do YouTube shorts and Instagram reels and TikToks and all that. So hopefully that gets some more people in as well. A lot of things to look forward to, guys. Focus on the future. Focus on building. Gratitude. It's always better to focus on what you do have than what you don't have. Otherwise, we'll just be miserable for our whole lives. There's always something pumping that you didn't get involved in, right? Don't beat yourself up. Establish your positions, 10% core, 90% core, 10% lottery. Play around, onboard people. Everybody's doing an excellent job. I'm very, very proud to still be here. Believe it or not. I wouldn't want to be in any other community. Adios.